almost every kid, especially around here, has a Facebook, and I don't know if this is true of your kid or not, but it probably is, that they're on it all the time. Crazy thing about Facebook is that you can find it on a computer, obviously. You can find it on your cell phone. You can find it on your iPod Touch. It's everywhere. Probably a lot of you guys are using it to kind of maybe connect with people you know, almost as like an email kind of thing. Hey, we went to elementary school together. That's awesome. You're married, cool. Like kind of thing, or keep in touch with relatives, or share pictures. And adolescents do that too with Facebook. Here's some of the appeal, I think, of it for adolescents. First of all, did anybody have a pen pal growing up? I had a pen pal. In a way, there's kind of an equivalence. Most adolescents are friends with people that they know. But one of the very cool things about it is that they have the opportunity to interact with people from all over the world. All of those things that Katie talked about adolescent development, about identity formation, about this autonomy, about these peer relationships, all of this stuff is playing out online. And one of the reasons it's so very important to adolescents to have like a Facebook or a MySpace or those kinds of things is because that's part of their identity formation now. It's become part of that ritual. There's a couple of things that maybe you should have discussions about with your kids. Social networking sites have a lot of opportunity to present yourself the way you want to be seen. And with that comes the ability to put, I go to this school, or I live in this city, or this is my phone number, here's my Skype address. Skype is a video chat. Here's my Skype name, and these kinds of things. And so just having a discussion about, hey, what kinds of things do you want public? You probably, it might not be wise to put your phone number, your cell phone number online. Or having the conversation, how do you know what you want to put on your Facebook? How do you know what's okay? And then also it's a really great opportunity to figure out how to connect with your kid and find out what they like. You can join groups, and those are just people with similar interests, and you can say, hey, what groups are you on Facebook? What do you connect with people about? What pages are you fans of? So there's all kinds of great ways to connect with your teen, and also to have discussions about safety. Now let me say that most kids are generally pretty good about safety, about not giving away information, those kinds of things. The schools have taught them pretty well. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't have that conversation. So continue having that. And then just this, how am I doing? And again, this is just for you to kind of evaluate yourself. Learning how to adjust privacy settings on Facebook or on MySpace, because you can control how much information you want to give to what people, and discussing what you want them to share on Facebook, and discussing advertising. Advertisers are so genius. I'm not even kidding. Like, you can go on Facebook, and you might have seen this already. First of all, they know what you like magically. I don't know. I have an old '67 Mustang that breaks down all the time, and I always have ads on the side that say Mustang parts, right? I'm like, Facebook, you're genius. Like, how do you know? And advertisers are super clever, and so another clever way they have little games that you play that are ads. But when you win, it takes you to a different site where they're advertising something. And so maybe having a discussion about advertisers, and the reason for that, let me just say this real quickly, is because what advertisers are trying to do is, they're trying to sell a product, but more than that, they're trying to sell a worldview, a way of looking at the world to your teens. And your job as parents is to help your children grow up into adults, and your job is to help them know how to see the world and know how to think about the world and establishing those values. And advertisers' jobs are trying to do that to you guys, to me, and to your kids. And considering the developmental stages that they're in, it's an important time to have those discussions about your values. And so also the very last thing, which I think is a pretty important one, because I've had parents talk to me who are like, my kid is texting at the dinner table, and I'm like, tell him to stop. Like, it's dinner. Like, you're the parent, tell him to stop. And, or listening to the iPod, or so it might be a good opportunity for you to just evaluate, hey, are my boundaries okay? Do I want family time to be family time? When is family time? Dinner time. Okay, dinner time, no iPod, no cell phone. We're going to sit there and stare at each other because we don't know how to talk to each other anymore. Or whatever you guys do. So those are just some things that you can check out and think about.